Morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, November 27, 2013. There will be no broadcast tomorrow, Thanksgiving Day in the United States, or on the following day, Friday, the 29th, because of the day after Thanksgiving. It'll be a 4-day weekend for most in the U.S. The next broadcast will be Monday, December 2nd. In Moscow today, police have disrupted what could have been an extraordinarily significant terror attack in the capital of Russia. They detained 15 heavily armed radical Islamists in Moscow, allegedly belonging to a banned offshoot of Al-Qaeda. Members of a group called Takfir wal-Hijra, founded in Egypt in the 60s, were discovered hiding weapons and suicide belts. Footage aired on Russian national news channels this morning showed helmeted police bursting into a high-rise apartment in the pre-dawn raid. Police were shown opening plastic bags holding grenades and pistols, as well as heavy black objects identified by police as explosive suicide belts. Russia is on a very heightened security alert in anticipation of the Winter Olympic Games in February at the Black Sea resort of Sochi. Sochi, of course, lies very near the border with the North Caucasus, which is a very volatile area. Meanwhile, in India, a crude bomb explosion killed 6 people near a nuclear plant in southern India. The plant is the Kudankulam nuclear power plant, which has inspired years of protest by local residents in Tamil Nadu state. The plant was unaffected by the blast and continues to operate normally. However, 2 houses were destroyed, and as I mentioned, 6 people were killed. The person who handles property and casualty coverage at Zurich Insurance Group, Michael Kerner, said this morning that computer threats are escalating and may soon cause, quote, dramatic disruptions for businesses and individuals. Kerner said, "We will see a relatively big, impactful cyber event that will occur over the next couple of decades. You will look back and say, we should have seen this coming." Zurich is Switzerland's biggest insurer. They provide coverage to protect against cyber property damage. Demand has risen for policies that cover cyber threats, said Kerner. Kerner also made some observations about how difficult it is to price the policies. He said it's more difficult to design policies for the biggest attacks, which could shut down power systems or stop a city's transportation network. It's a bit more challenging to get your head around in terms of how exactly to underwrite that. You just need to be prepared for those kinds of eventualities and get your defenses up. It also meant that you need to get the right price. No kidding. There were 2 big explosions at the SpaceX rocket development facility in the central Texas town of McGregor last night. Residents in the area reported feeling 2 large tremors that felt like earthquakes at about 10:30 p.m. The local sheriff's department said that the explosion was caused by 2 nitrogen-filled tanks that overpressurized and then exploded. Apparently no one was injured. It's not known as to how much damage was done at the facility. SpaceX designs, manufactures, and launches spacecraft. It has a contract with NASA to deliver shipments to the International Space Station. Yesterday, 2 American B-52 bombers flew unhindered into the so-called China's sovereign airspace in the East China Sea. You'll recall that last week China extended its territorial limits some 200 miles and threatened to interdict any overflights by foreign powers. The United States, Japan, Australia, and others have protested vigorously against this. Yesterday, the Defense Department sent 2 B-52s through the area for a total of 2 hours and 22 minutes. The flight was described as being planned for a long time. The Chinese said that they detected and monitored the flights, but decided not to do anything about it. An international incident. Standard & Poor's has put the top Italian insurer Generali on credit watch negative, signaling that its credit and financial strength ratings may be downgraded pending a review of the company's ability to withstand an Italian sovereign default. Generali, of course, has a significant amount of its investments in Italian bonds. The thinking, of course, is that if the Italian government fails, for some reason, to pay its bills, Generali will be caught up in the storm. Speaking of storms, the eastern Indian coast is bracing itself for the third time in recent weeks for, quote, a very severe cyclone. This is going to be accompanied by winds of over 200 kilometers per hour. That's about 125 miles per hour. Media reports say that the cyclone, which is named Lehar, L-E-H-A-R, is about 400 miles off the eastern coast of India. It's expected to intensify even more. The brunt of the cyclone will be borne by the coastline in the Indian state of Andhra Pradesh. The government has already begun to take measures. A professor of civil engineering at Kansai University in Japan, who is also part of the Japanese government's Central Disaster Management Council, says that a magnitude 7.3 earthquake between Tokyo, which is expected geologically sometime in the next 30 years, is going to cause as much as $3 trillion in economic losses. The new estimate triples the size of the estimate that the government has for such a magnitude event on the Tokyo Bay, but it's thought that since this professor is part of the government's executive team that looks at these estimates, that the government will now update its own. Amazing. I wish everybody a very happy and thankful Thanksgiving. For our foreign viewers, we will see everybody back here on Monday, December 2nd. Thank you for watching.